Dear cousin, I know you haven't been out of school for very long and that you like the town home you're currently renting. But you do have a good job, and I'm pretty sure you could qualify for a mortgage to buy a home. So, have you ever considered buying an investment property? Here's a couple of scenarios that might work for you, and I'm just talking to you as a realtor. Rent it out while staying where you are now. You could use the rent payments to pay your own rent, maybe have some more left over, and also build equity in the new home. Once you're ready to no longer be a renter, you could then move into the new home, and after you've lived in it for 2 years, you wouldn't have to count it as a rental for tax purposes. It would then be your primary residence, and you could avoid the nasty capital gains tax. Okay, another scenario is that you could certainly move into the new home as soon as you buy it. Then you don't have to pay rent anymore. You'd just be paying mortgage, and you'd be building equity through the mortgage payments and through appreciation of the property. And then if you decided later to upgrade to a larger home or move to another city, you could keep the home as a rental, and then you'd have a nice passive income stream. Remember, people's salaries tend to go up as they get older, so you'd have more money. And before I forget, I do highly recommend using a good rental management company instead of trying to deal on your own with the inevitable clogged toilets and tenants who lose their key on a holiday weekend. It always happens on a holiday. Property management is not that expensive, and in my own experience with my own rental properties, it totally pays for itself in terms of saving time and headaches. It really doesn't cost that much to have a good property management company run your properties for you. Now, obviously, you know I'm a fan of investing in property, or else I wouldn't do it myself. And I don't know the specifics of your finances. But I really hate seeing people, especially young people who are just getting started, put money into rent if they can afford a home. Even if that means you make some sacrifices for a few years until your salary goes up. You also get substantial tax advantages from investment properties via depreciation. This is something an accountant could talk to you about in more detail. And if you eventually decide to sell your rental, especially once you've maxed out the depreciation, then you can do something called a 1031 exchange for another investment property, and then you won't have to pay the capital gains tax. It's a way to defer that tax. And you'll also start the depreciation cycle and all the tax advantages all over again. So there really are some advantages besides getting rent payments each month to having a rental. Anyway, it's something to think about. I wanted to let you know there's a home on the market not far from you that, in my opinion, is one of the best options in the market right now for a young buyer/investor. Now we're talking about here in the Boise area. The home is brand new, so it won't have, or at least shouldn't have, so many of the maintenance issues associated with older properties. So with any luck, you wouldn't have to put a lot of money into repairs for quite some time. There are other new builds available in that same subdivision, but they only have 2 bedrooms. Now, it does cost more to buy the bigger home with 3 bedrooms, but I think it's worth it because you'll get higher rents for a 3-bedroom home than you would for a 2-bedroom home. And there are a lot of people looking for a house that has 3 bedrooms, either because they have a family or roommates, or they need a room for work from home. You know that I know several mortgage lenders who have access to good programs for first-time home buyers. And you don't need to have the legendary 20% down payment. The average buyer does not have close to 20% down payment nowadays. I'm not even sure how that whole 20% number got started, but it does scare away a lot of buyers who otherwise would be able to afford to buy a home. So just forget whatever you may have heard about 20%. And remember, if you're a veteran, there are home loans with no down payment whatsoever. Anyway, if you ever want to just talk about investment property ownership, just kick some ideas around, you know I'm happy to talk. You know that I'm a realtor here in the Boise area, and I'd be happy to open doors and walk you through properties, get you information about the properties so that you can start to get an idea of what's out there and what you would get for its money and what the different areas of town look like. So, one final thing I want to tell you. The median property price here in Boise went up in April 2023 and again in May. This is the first time since May of 2022 that the median price has gone back up. So I think prices are heading up again. I know a lot of people say they're going to wait until the market just, crashes before they buy, but I don't see any crash happening here in the Boise area, and I don't know any realtors or lenders or other experts in this area who are predicting a crash here. So remember, if you have questions about real estate, I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, and here's one for you to check out next, okay? All right.